All right, it's another beautiful moment to be with you today on this program, You and I. As you know that You and I is designed to keep our families together. The essence is for peace to reign in our home. And today we don't have any particular topic to discuss on. Rather, the questions you sent in, or the ones you called, we want to look at them today. Hence, I urge you to sit tight. If you didn't send any question, I believe what we are to discuss today, in one way or the other, will affect your marriage positively. My name is Chioma J. I want you to join me as I welcome today from my immediate left, Dickinson Samson.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. And I have a new face on You and I, and she is Reverend Mrs. Precious Shukuma Idika.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to this great program.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, as I said earlier, I have some questions here. Be there. We'll start the first one that says, is it wrong if a man withdraws his marriage after paying dowry because of the things he found out, either the bad behavior or something he discovered, and the lady he has already paid the bride price? Or is it a must that he will get married to her?
For me, if you look at the marriage, the constitutional base of our marriage, customary marriage, the moment you pay dowry, it's already legalized. But some people go to the point of thinking that it's only legalized when you do a church white wedding. So for me, at that point, if the lady has actually moved to your place, you stay with our people. You can be able to approach, if it's a church arrangement, you can approach the pastor and tell the pastor, this marriage cannot continue. I can't consummate it because of this and that. Instead of talking about divorce when you're already consummated in the marriage. So better. That's my own thinking. But I also believe that there can always be a way of sorting the issues, if it is issues that can be sorted out. Because I believe every problem has a solution depending on how you approach it. That's my thinking around it.
All right. After paying dowry, traditionally she might be seen as a wife, but because of Christianity, most times the lady doesn't come back to the man's house. So instead of waiting until after white wedding and you say you are no longer interested, is that what you're saying? It's better you call it out there. I think I've had such experience, then I will share it after Precious said something.
I want to say that traditionally you are paid the bride price. Before then, that means you didn't prepare yourself. You started it. And before you saw all these things, you are complaining now. I think what the man should do, he should wait. Let's not put it immediately. He should watch. Maybe discuss with the pastors and think, what do I do at this point? What do I
want to understand you. Yes. Waiting, is it to delay the wedding?
Yes.
Okay.
So that he can be able to handle the issue if it's what they can manage. If it's not what they can manage, then they can go ahead and separate. Because it's a life something that you don't go in and start going back and see if I know. But if it's something that you can manage, can be handled, they should continue, but they should just give a little break. Maybe put one or two things or the other. Because sometimes the man is in a hurry because he doesn't have patience. Because most women are patient to stay with the man. They want to learn, they want to see how to manage you. But men, they will feel that, no, I can't be able to continue this thing because the woman is not compromising or is not there. They don't know how to enter because of their nature as a man. So, but if you give a chance and see whether you can help it, if not, I think there's nothing bad about it because already they have already mixed it. Marriage is ordained by God. And anytime you allow God to come in, he will always give you the grace because there's a good man.
This sister that I've reminded me, my husband will always say that wife is a raw material that God has handed over to the man to process.
So
I don't know if that is true.
Yes.
It's a raw material, but most men are feeling that they are already processed, they're already a product. Once you come, you start functioning, there's nothing, they have nothing to do to help the life of the woman. But if you see it as, see a woman, a raw material that God has given to you, at least you are expected to help in molding her.
I think both the man and the woman is work in progress.
That is it. If we understand it that way, there will be no problem.
Because you came from different background, level of exposure and all this one, so you need to blend. That's why marriage is said to be partnership thing.
Yes.
So that's it.
In my last episode, something like this, we are talking about you have paid the bride price, you discover things you feel that you can no longer, you cannot endure or accept. What do you do? One pastor a few years ago came to us and he laid so many complaints about a lady he was about to marry.
Okay.
I told him there, I said, it's better you withdraw. Because with the way you are seeing the lady now, you see her as a liar, that she is not straightforward, it's going to be difficult. He left. According to him, he accepted. After some months, he came back and started with us how God told him he has answered his prayer. This, and when somebody said that God said, who are you?
Who are you to say no?
He said, okay. What did God say that the woman is the wife? As I'm talking to you now, that marriage did not last up to 1 year. So it would have been better for him to withdraw. So what we are telling you out there is that there's nothing wrong. You mustn't marry. If you go ahead and marry her, and when you are living together, you can no longer condone her, what is it? You become a divorcee. I don't think that is the best.
You two have a wrong mark, even though you want to marry another person. What happened? That you left your marriage too and all that. So it's better you start earlier to put things in order, whether to tolerate it or continue it, because there's no a perfect man or a perfect woman. I think one of the things that could make somebody to say he cannot endure, maybe you paid her bride price, you saw her with a man. That is the one you can say right there, because such a woman can also do more. Because if the woman have respect for the marriage is entering, she will not try it. But outside that, every other thing you see can also be seen in another person. So if you can tolerate it, you go ahead. If you cannot, then you can quit.
Because we have so many questions, I think we have given him the answer there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, the next one says, from year to year, this man is explaining that he's the one that is fending for the family. The wife is a businesswoman, but she doesn't contribute. Even when he's not there and the children come back from school demanding for money, either to buy a exercise book or textbook, or he would tell them, wait for your father. And the man is asking, what do I do? If after doing everything, according to him, he goes to the markets, and then in the bedroom, the wife will not allow him to touch her. So, what advice are we giving to the man?
Well, I think it is actually a dicey issue. But what I will always say is that marriage is not for boys. That is marriage for girls. Marriage, is meant for men. What I mean next time is the issue of maturity. Because oftentimes infatuation makes some of these wrong choices. Before you get into actually marrying a man or woman, there will be some indications of the person's attitude, no matter how the person will cover up. It is important we study will be partners from a distance, but the kind of man or woman we're going to. There must be some signs, but some people are carried away by the excitement, oh, I want to get married and all that, and they will not want to give attention. Because I have experience with some people that are very close to me who have very rough marriage, and they are regretting it tomorrow. But there are also indicators that you could look at and say, let me rethink, let me reanalyze or assess this, relationship I want to go into. You're already there. So all you need to do is to ask God for grace, because I cannot sit back and tell you to divorce her, or to divorce her. Because the truth there is that God doesn't, permit us to go into divorce. So the only thing there is that I believe that you just ask for grace and possibly see how you can get her close to God. I believe that if she gets close to God, by whatever means, God will help you to do it. God will be able to help her to see her faults and then turn away and make the marriage happy and joyful.
Okay.
I think the man has a work to do. He has not win the woman. Each house has a key. I had one. He's a barrister and the wife and all that. The wife never contributed. By the time I come in contact with them, I was able to tell him that you have not been able to let her know how we can work together and achieve something. Speak to her mind and make her to have an understanding that he's part of the house. And she has value than every other thing that you have. But you are, she sees you, that you are seeing her as the property, the best thing you have ever had in life. You'll be able to get her. From the day I finished talking with the woman, I said, do you know what it means? Your money will make your husband to have a house. And today they have a building. Because she contributed what she had been saving.
But I still wonder what a woman would be thinking, that you're married and you will not be contributing to the marriage, to the family. You have your children. What do you think, when you were going into the relationship as a wife, what really do they have behind?
Some of them, they had an emotion in their family that he's a man that owns all the responsibility. They only go in there, their business or their work is to buy their weave-on and all that on themselves. Yes. So such a person needs a time you will use and begin to bring him closer to you to know that, no, we have to work together and build together. And the society has a lot, either the church that belongs to or the environment. Like I said to a man, you're not the one that will be able to correct your wife and get her better. Either the church where you worship or any counselor around you will help you to win the woman. If you keep telling her, honey, this thing you're doing is not right, you see the woman getting more offended. There's no change. She feels that you are complaining too much.
Right. If you are just joining us, this is and I. We shall be going on break. By the time we come back, we still have more questions to attend. If we couldn't finish it today, maybe some other time we'll continue. Just stay tuned. We are coming back. Marriage settles down. That pursuit comes down. The woman too, so to some extent, relaxes. Just like he said, the woman just relaxes and stays like a log of wood. A man have achieved my lifelong dream, per se.
So side chicks, they have negative impact on the marriage.
By the way, my mother was my first woman. So she knows God has been speaking to her about my life, how your daughter is going to be.
Which exists between two persons. And so, any other thing outside those two persons are referred to as third parties.
I thought that I should be the one that should tolerate her. I thought I know that they were head of the family, so I should at least allow her.
Welcome back. This one said, Madam, the day you discussed on a church party, he said he discovered something. That he said he's one of these security men. He goes to work at night to come back in the morning. And he discovered that whenever he goes out, that the wife doesn't sleep in the house. But by the time he will come back, the wife will return. And if he comes in, the wife will pretend to be angry with him, thereby not allowing him to touch her. That she had been doing this. He said, "Ma, what do? I am dying. Please help."
I think some of these are speculations. If he actually had evidence to prove that the wife is
Sleeping.
yes, is not faithful in the relationship, that when he goes for night duty, she goes on night duty to another man's house. If he's able to prove that, then he should be able to bring the family of the woman and his own family, to discuss the matter. If they belong to a church, the matter should be taken to the church or proper counseling. Because the risk there is that if that problem is not solved, the man's life is in danger.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't endanger your, when it comes to the issue of life, life is being threatened. I think, there has to be a point of, parting ways, because life is not, it doesn't have a duplicate. So a woman who will have that kind of intention and attitude, and maybe, well, if she does it, maybe, she did it maybe once or, or maybe whatever, out of whatever. But if it's a habitual thing, and then I think the marriage should be actually, they should part ways. But if it's something that she's done out of some whatever influence, and then she's able to admit, and then they're able to resolve, I believe it could, they could actually, the man should ask for God's grace to help him to forgive her and can keep on the relationship and still watch her. But if she's that always unrepentant, I think it's better to quit the marriage, or else your life will be in danger, because she could bring you, bring disease, or she could even conspire with the men out there, her lover, and then kill you or something.
As I saw a young lady that the boyfriend killed her husband, while the boyfriend promised to marry her, and she brought in the young man and lied to the husband that the young man is related to her, and this young man killed her husband in his bedroom.
In order to have the woman.
But are you sure he's even going to marry her? All right.
Come on. One of the things we saw there is that this man may not be too sure that the wife is having something outside.
Exactly.
If he has gotten any proof, then he cannot know how to handle it. It could be that this woman, sometimes women want attention. Maybe as he's working more of the night, the woman wanted him. Yeah. Okay, since you're not there, there's a way you can pet her to win her back. Yeah. Find out why she's not happy.
Good.
It could be because you don't have his time when he wants his own time, because there are times it's not only the time a man wants you want your husband. Mm-hmm. And because we don't say it the way we could say it as a man, we looked and he said, you are dying in silence also. The only way maybe to play a prank, maybe he would be doing as if he doesn't want the man. So the man should be able to find out, what exactly have I done that makes you to be offended even when I want you? Then you can win her. Before you start bringing somebody, let her give you a fact. This is what is making me unhappy over this issue.
I guess you're really watching this program because I promised you that we're going to discuss on that. And you have heard it. First, do you have evidence? And have you tried to find out from her what actually... Look for something that thrills her, that turns her on. I believe you'll be able to find out exactly what is the problem. I have this because I know we'll have limited time.
All right.
Let's look at this one. It says, is side chick a married woman or single or both? That's the first one.
The word chick, is not really specific. So, but I think what is there is that it has to do with, if you're using it, if referring to the man, it could be that is the opposite of the woman. So the woman is a woman. The female sex is the female sex, whether the person is married to another man or whatever. So the notion there is that you have a woman you are going out with that is not your wife, or maybe the other way, the woman having a man she's going out with that's not her own husband. So that is how I look at it. But the truth there is that it is wrong by all parameters for you to have a chick.
He had a second, a follow-up question to this. He said, do men sleep with some of their housemates?
Okay, there are a lot of things, that...
and can a maid also be seen as a side chick?
Is she not a woman? So if a woman is a woman, what woman A has, woman B has. Yes. So it's a woman is a woman, whether it's a housemaid or a cleaner or whatever. The thing there is that there's a lot of things, around that, why men do that. Even though it is not recommended by God's standard, by virtue of morality. But the truth there is that some women are part of the problem. Part of the problem because you should know your man. If your husband is the type who likes, beautiful things, make yourself beautiful. Not when she comes back, you are tying a wrapper across your chest. You're looking like one old woman from the village, and then the girl you brought, maybe a teenager, properly packaging herself, and then showing all her, figures and all that. And then the man is not a spirit. When he sees, when you get out, because men are majorly attracted by what they see. So from time to time, you must also be careful the kind of maids you bring to the house. Okay. Try and bring in a younger person, not all these teenagers. At the end of the day, when you do that, you discover that you're endangering your relationship. And then you should also be able to ensure that when your husband complains about some issues, try to adjust to make yourself attractive and admirable to him.
I want to say that in this case, every woman knows very well that you have a right over your husband. You're the one staying with me in the house. But we have a war that my husband saw years back. He said there's a war on the street. That war is that every man sees naked people on the street. And the men move by what they see. They don't move by what they touch. It's we that move by what we touch. And a man moves on the street or see his house girl half naked. And his wife is busy covering and covering, even inside the house. He will be carried away to do what he's doing. So most women should realize that and begin to do those things that you think that attract your husband. Like personally me, I'm so rigid about some things in dressing. But I just discovered he wants me to be looking better for him. So he wants his eyes on me anyway. For that reason, I do it to the best of his will. So that he can be attracted. So that I have no choice than to do that which will make two of us to have a good home. So any woman who is having a house girl in the house and the husband will be attracted to should know that he's missing something. He's not covering well. And anywhere you're not covering well, that's where the devil enters to come and steal what belongs to you. And when we realize that, we can overcome it quickly. And our husband, we can help.
All right, finally, let's just take this. I believe we still have some time. Please, let's just accommodate this last question I want to ask now. It says, why do some women leave every housework for their household?
I think that those women are lazy women. If you value your home, you should be able to be in charge. The house help is only to complement. No matter how busy you are, you should be able to be in charge of your home, in charge of what your husband eats, in charge of how your home is managed. You don't leave all that to a housemaid or a house help. You are going to put your family in jeopardy. Because at the end of the day, you did not marry the man because of housemaid. You married the man for who the man is. So if you value your home, now it's no sacrifice you cannot make to make your home what you want it to be. Don't abrogate that responsibility. Don't delegate it to somebody else. Any person who is coming in there is ready to compliment. That's my thinking around that.
Okay, I think one of them is that some women are pride. They think doing their housework is makes you feel down or what?
What?
They are pride. The pride that is in them does not allow them down to do what they're supposed to do.
To do their house chores?
Yes, that's why.
As a wife?
As a wife. They feel like bringing somebody to come and do everything. Like me, I don't look for house help. House help run to me because you don't live in my house and be a house help. You are just living because you want to stay with me. Because I wake up in the morning, do my house duty because it's my responsibility. Even with my work, I enjoy it anyway. I'm still washing. Even when Daddy was buying me washing machine, I believe washing my children's clothes, I am speaking a word in their life for a change. Because we're in the generation that what you put them on is what you use to transform your family. And so I do more of the work. You only come to assist me, the one I am doing already. Not for you to come and take over my work. No. So I think pride and that laziness and home upbringing, the way they brought them in their home, some of them are lazy. Sorry, the other day I was almost fed up with one of my sister-in-law that came. So I called my mother-in-law, said, you mean she cannot help? He said, maybe that is where she's made up with. I said, Mama, you didn't give her a good training. We are meant to train our children to do what they're supposed to do as a responsibility in the house, not for you to be looking for a house help. And that's why house help will come today and go, another person will come, because you put that person into stress. You are not using him as someone who is woman-like. So if you kill pride, know that when you are doing your housework, it gives me joy, and it gives you joy. You want to do more and make your home.
All right. Have you heard it as a woman? When you're doing your homework, your house chores, it will give you joy. At least know that this is your home. However you do it, it is your home. When it looks fine, it's your home. And it's also part of the exercise. We need it. All right. This is actually what we have for you today. Those of you who could not attend to your questions, please just bear with us. Next time we'll do that. And you have heard all we said today. Because we want our homes to be peaceful. If your home will be peaceful, I tell you, our environment will be a better place for us to dwell. So having said that,
thank you for being part of the program.
And
I want to say to you, stay well with peace and love. Be the one making it right and to remain right as you work with me.
I'm glad you are not part of it. So I'm Chema.